Hey guys, welcome back to the Magfed Ranch Paintball channel. And today I'm going to be doing the top 5 things that you would want to have along with your Magfed paintball marker for you to play and enjoy Magfed paintball overall. But before we get into you guys, let's do the prerequisites as always, right? Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, share, and comment. Alright, so let's get into it, guys. Okay, so like I was saying, this is the 5 things that I'm going to suggest that you would want to get, so that way you can, complement your Magfed marker, and that you can, enjoy Magfed marker play, the gameplay of Magfed to its fullest. Okay, guys? Okay, so this is assuming already that you have a Magfed marker, preferably a first strike capable Magfed marker, but of course that's, for your guys' decision. But as I always tell you guys, I'm trying to promote first strike, play, first strike capable magazine fed markers, and promote that sport. Okay, guys. But yeah, so this is assuming you already got your marker, guys. Okay. So first thing I would recommend, of course, is some type of goggle system, guys. And this is kind of Magfed in general. This is going to be an overall theme that I want to continue stressing you guys. I get it. It's an expensive sport. It can be super expensive. But as anything in life, what's worth paying for, there's a reason for it, right? Things that are, obviously cost more, usually is because it's worth the time, right? Good things come to those who wait. There's all these cliche sayings for all these reasons, right? So the reason why, too, that a really good goggle is going to help enjoy your gameplay, obvious reasons. Fog, right? You don't want a goggle that's gonna just fog up on you. So you're gonna want a dual pane lens system, right? So that way it's not gonna just, pretty much just make it non-visible, non-existent visible right off the bat, right? So I have a Push Unite goggle here. That's definitely I recommend. What I really love about the Push Unite 2, as I was telling you guys, with the cheek weld on the Magfed markers, it will cause your face to sit a little bit higher, right, than a standard AR. And so that's of course gonna, necessitate the riser, necessitate the optics, right? I've gone through a lot of that already with some of my other videos, guys. But what I like about the Push Unite goggles, as you guys can see here, the cheek guard of it is very flexible. And so it doesn't really create that much of that gap thickness, unlike some other goggles that are really rigid here, okay? So I really like the Push Unite is because it's very flexible and malleable here, so even though it gives you good coverage, good protection, really good visibility, as you guys can see here with its dual pane lens, really cool looking goggles too with its freaking, I believe this is called its Predator camo, I believe is what it's called. But yeah, with the red lens and everything like that, just super cool looking goggles, super performance. But of course, kind of on the high side, right? Going for around $200 for a set of goggles. So I get it. Not everyone, wants to spend this big bucks. But like I was telling you guys, I think it's really worth the investment because you buy one pair of good goggles, it's going to last you a long time. And it's going to make your gameplay that much enjoyable, okay? So a good set of goggles. I have another alternative here that I wanted to show you guys that I recommend as well, that I've tried and tested as well, is a goggles from my good buddies over Extreme Velocity in Oregon, and this is their Predator E4 thermal goggles. And so as you can see, it's kind of a clone of the Dye i4 goggles, right? As you can see here. So very slim profile, and as you can see here too, this is the reason why I like the Dye. I have a set of another Dye i4 goggles as well, but I wanted to show you guys this kind of alternative. But you can see here the cheek protection is very flexible as well too, and so it'll give you guys that good cheek weld without adding too much height to your line of sight. And it's dual plane lens as well too. I'm sure not as good as like the Push Unite goggle lens or the Dye i4 lens, but in my time testing it out, it didn't really fog up on me either. It's less padding in certain areas, a little bit less filler in certain areas, less foam in some areas. So You know, the strap in the back isn't as thick and doesn't have like the cool logos. So there's definitely a reason why, you know, this goggle only costs around $50, right? $50, $60 versus this one that's $200, right? There's a cost savings for a reason, but I think this is a really good, you know, budget entry goggles for you guys out there that's looking for a budget option to start Magfed with. But yeah, you want to get this type of goggles. You don't want to get those generic paintball goggles where it's like, you know, super rigid, full stiff mask face coverage. I get it, you know, you guys, oh my God, you know, paintball's gonna hurt. Come on, guys, it's not gonna hurt, right? You know, when you're playing and you got all the adrenaline going, it's not gonna hurt. Anyways, it's a freaking, you know, it's a physical contact sport. You know, you're just gonna have to, you know, man up and get over it, okay? But yeah, so this is a good one. So guys, go check out Brian Bradley over at Extreme Velocity. My guy over there, he's you know, he's helped me out when I was first starting out. So shout out to him. Shout out to the guys over at Extreme Velocity. Okay, but this is a good option. Okay, so that'll be my number one, is getting a really good set of goggles that works well with the Magfed markers. Okay, guys. Number two is going to be. This is going to be a toss-up, guys, but I'm going to have to say it's going to be obviously more magazines. And I know that's technically okay, hey, you know, it is part of the marker system, but I'm telling you guys, having extra magazines is going to help you enjoy your gameplay that much more. The reason being is, you know, these things do get tedious to wind up and reload, right? And so just having extras with you on the field every time you go play, already preloaded, it's going to make your day that much less of a hassle, less inconvenient, right? It's going to make you enjoy the gameplay more. You just have to worry about playing instead of having to sit there and reload all day, right? So for me, I would say at least a minimum of 6 to 8 magazines would, you know, is what you want to do, but I would prefer probably, you know, an 8 to 12, 8 to 10, and shoot even more if you can, right? The more the merrier, because the more magazines you can bring on the field without having to reload them, you can just use them throughout the day and play. And then of course, you know, if you end up shooting more than you thought you were going to, or if you ended staying up playing a little bit longer because you had such a good time, right? That's kind of the whole point. Instead of having to sit around in little magazines all day, you have a bunch of backup magazines that you can use to play with, right? So I would say magazines are going to be the number 2 thing for me, which then leads me to my number 3, which is some type of magazine holder. And you can use something as simple as this single magazine holder for like your real steel AR, right? And so this will fit, you know, the freaking T15 mags or any AR-15 style paintball marker mag. It'll fit it just as well, right? And so you'll pretty much, bam, just grab it out, reload it just like a freaking real magazine, okay? And of course, they make double ones of these, or of course you can always carry 2 of them on your waist belt, your battle belt, for a very just light, fast running gun type of setup, right? Just 1 on the gun and 2 on your body, and then maybe a backup side marker, right? Side pistol with, you know, maybe another pistol pouch, right? A very light loadout with, you know, just 5 magazines total. Just very quick run and gun, right? Be very efficient with your markers. That's a very cool setup, I think. Keeps it very simple. Or of course you can get into something, you know, that's a little bit more, you know, I guess more, you know, user friendly, has a little bit more capacity, like this Blue Force gear. I think this is called their fast rig or something like that. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but this is just a very simple, you know, already pre-assembled nylon web. And it'll hold 3 magazines, 3 AR style magazines in the front here. And then it has a couple, of course, Molly loop rings here on the side if you want to add a couple other more, you know, mag pouches, which they offer to have a capacity of 5. Or if you wanted to offer, you know, like a couple of pistol pouches, if you wanted to do your TIPX or FSC, you know, pistol pouches, you can attach them here on the Molly webbing too. Just very simple, very light, you know. I like these setups, right? Because Magfed, you want to be efficient with your rounds. You don't want a heavy setup. You want to be able to play, move fast, shoot efficiently, shoot accurately, especially with the first strike rounds, right? And that's the type of style of gameplay that I enjoy. I also have this other belt here. It's made by One Tigress, and it's pre-belted as well, but it has 4 belt pouches, four magazine pouches here in the front with these retainer loops here that are adjustable. So of course, you know, you can get it pre-adjusted, but you know, as you can see, they already come pretty well adjusted to a standard AR style magazine. But yeah, it holds 4 magazines here, and then of course it has a couple of pistol pouches already in the front, 4 of them to be exact. You know, if you wanted to carry some more TFPX pistols, or let's say you want to carry a flashlight, you know, maybe a set of pliers, a squeegee, batteries, you know, anything extra that you might need on the field during your gameplay. It also has either this kind of like this utility pouch, or sometimes they'll call it a medical pouch, right? If you want to put, like, you know, wipes in here, any other backups, your set of keys, right? You know, your identification card, just whatever else, you know, you might, think you might lose throughout the day, or things you want to store while you're game playing. Shoot, you can put your phone in here as well too, I guess, if you want to carry your phone with you while you're playing. So I think that's kind of cool. It gives you kind of that ability to do so. And it's a really light setup as well too. As you guys can see, I really kind of like these like light setup, kind of just chest rigs. Keeps it simple. Kind of holds the minimum mag loadout, which to me is around 4 or 5 mags. I think is the minimum mag loadout that anyone should be playing with. You know, ideally you'd like to get to the 6 or 7 range if you can, so that way you know you have enough rounds for a full round of gameplay, just in case you do get into a lot of active firefight and you're having to shoot a lot. But you know, I think 4 or 5 is the decent minimum to start with. I also recommend some type of dump pouch, guys. I really like this one from Condor. I played with this Condor one for quite some time now, and I really enjoy it because it's just really nice and big. You know, it can attach really high onto your battle belt, and then of course it has a thigh strap for it to, you know, be tight against your leg, so that way it's not flopping around when you run. But what I really like about it is, like, you can literally just toss your magazine in here when you're done. It flaps closes, and because of its Velcro, it doesn't really come loose. I've yet to have, you know, a mag fall out by accident after I've, you know, cinched it down. Even if I've rolled around or I've like jumped into a freaking, you know, a little ditch or a gully or something. In essence, I'm just jumping, tumbling around. I've had yet to have any mags lost or, fall out because of it. It also does have a little pouch up top that you can keep that normal pouch flap closed, and then you can just stick the mags into the pouch. But I don't know, me personally, just in the middle of battle, it's just cool to have this thing open. You go do a mag change, you change out a fresh mag, you just dump your empty mag in here and just shut this mag flap closed, and then it cinches with the Velcro, and it's good to go. You're on your way without having to worry about the extra mags or having to go pick them up later in the day after that gameplay, you know? Especially if you're playing like some big scenario game, and you're gonna be like wondering, where the hell did I drop that mag? You know, you don't want that, right? You don't want to be losing mags every time you go play. You know, these things can get costly. Okay, so that's number 3, guys. Okay, number 4 is gonna be a sling. Okay, so I have a sling here for you guys for reference. This is a Blue Force gear sling as well too. As you guys can see, on certain handguards, like this MR 416D, 416 Delta version of ours, right? You can see here that it has a couple of sling attachments built into the handrail, right? Handguard. And then, of course, as with all our T15 style markers that we make, we include the rear sling mount for you guys. Okay, so as you guys can see here, bam, bam, you can get a sling mount for your magazine fed marker. Obviously, I haven't adjusted this yet, guys, right? But as you guys can see, it's an adjustable sling as well too, so you can pull it out and pull it in, right, to adjust the tension of it. And as you guys can see, This is the reason why I like the sling, right? Because you can walk around during non-gameplay time, and you can obviously just let the marker rest on your body. You don't have to carry it around all day. Like I said, with the optics and everything on these markers, even a compact marker like this, it can get heavy throughout the day. And of course, when you have like, you know, your chest rig with you with all the magazines, all this stuff gets kind of weighted down on a person, you know? So that's the reason why the military guys say, right, like ounces add to pounds, right, and pounds add to equal to pain, right? Because, you know, every weight little increment. So as you can see, the military is always finding a ways to reduce weight. And so same thing with us, guys. You know, we got to try to find ways to reduce weight, try to reduce the fatigue on your body, so that way you can enjoy the gameplay more, right? So it's not less manly to say that, right? We're trying to obviously, you know, be as efficient as possible and try to enjoy as possible. And one of the ways to do that is obviously make sure, you know, you're not getting fatigued as much throughout the day. Okay, so yeah, a sling is really helpful for that aspect. And then of course the sling is going to be helpful as well, you know, it's for you to, as you know, your primary goes dry, it goes empty, and if you're in the middle of a firefight, sometimes it's quicker just to drop your primary and then go to your sidearm, right? Go to your backup, go to your pistol. And so a sling allows you to do that instead of having to drop your marker on the ground, right? Or freaking, God forbid, you know, you're shooting with your marker and then, okay, I'm out of rounds and I got, you know, hold, you know, the marker with one hand and draw with the other hand, right? It's not going to be as conducive, not as accurate. So definitely a sling helps with that. Okay. All right, so that's number 4, guys. And then lastly, number 5, guys, is going to be your apparel, your gear. And so, guys, this is where, you know, hey, it's a little bit of LARPing. I get it, right? It's a little bit of make-believe, a little play, a little Call of Duty for adults, right? But that's one of the reasons why I love Magfed, right? It's able to kind of play this realistic gameplay that we're not able to play normally in our lives, right? And I know, I get it, you know, there's a lot of former military, current military, former police, current police that would really enjoy this gameplay, right? Be able to use their training, be able to use all the skills they've learned throughout their history and their career, right? And excel, dude, they would dominate, being able to take what they learned to go into this gameplay. And so for the rest of us, though, that, you know, that don't have that experience, it's a way for us to be able to enjoy that gameplay. So for me, guys, get into it, you know, buy the multi-cam gear, right? Buy the nice boots, right? All these things, you know, buying nice gear once is better than having to buy gear over and over again, guys, right? It's better to freaking, you know, cry once than cry multiple times, right? So, you know, save up, you know, and buy at least the decent minimum quality gear. And so that's my job, guys. I'll continue giving you guys good reviews as far as what gear that I've seen that's, you know, been affordable, but at least been decent enough to kind of meet the standards, so that way it's not going to be junk and it's not going to fail on you guys, you know, after just a short time of gameplay in the field. But going back to the apparel, like, you know, really get into it. You know, buy the nice camo that you want to get, right? Buy the nice freaking dry fit, you know, freaking Under Armour fit shirts that you can, you know, wear on top of, you know, wear your chest rig on top to really get into it, right? Because, guys, it's about, you know, obviously that whole feeling of looking the part, feeling the part, and then, you know, obviously, you know, being able to act the part. It's kind of half of the fun of playing Magfed, right? Right, that's the reason why we love the sport. That's the reason why we love the markers looking as realistic as they do, because we enjoy, you know, being able to use these markers that, you know, that we've shot in real life sometimes too. Some of us have, you know, owned some of these rifles in real life, and be able to actually play in it in a paintball game and be able to actually shoot other people with it is pretty cool, you know, and being able to like get shot back at it, you know, in essence, play a make-believe battle, right, without, you know, any life of risk on the line. It is freaking fun and it's cool. So I would say get into it, you know. And it doesn't mean you have to get camo, right? Wear jeans and a t-shirt, kind of like, you know, those freaking contract worker guys do, right? The Blackwater guys, right? You know, you've seen those images of those freaking operators that, you know, they just show up and they're wearing jeans and a t-shirt, right? That's cool too, right? But my point is just really get into it, you know, get your whole get up together,
You know, no one's gonna judge you. Be like, oh my God, you know, why are you taking this so serious? No, man, this is what we do. This is the reason why we enjoy it. Is we really get into all of this, right? It's no different than the people that get into cosplay. It's no different than people get into role playing, LARPing, like I was telling you guys. Except for this, we're actually getting to actually play and enjoy a gameplay, right? And actually getting to shoot at people and getting shot at, which adds to the excitement and adds to the gameplay. That's why I love Magfed so much. So just as much as I love it, I hope you guys love it as well. And of course, I hope you guys love this video, because this is my top 5 things I recommend with your paintball, Magfed paintball marker, guys. So guys, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, share and comment, okay guys? Check you guys on the next one. Peace.